Rayman Legends is a platformer developed by Ubisoft Montpellier and published by Ubisoft in 2013. It's the fifth main entry in the series and the sequel to Rayman Origins, the critically acclaimed reboot of the franchise. The game initially started as a Wii U exclusive but went multi-platform due to Ubisoft's concern of low sales on a single console. Although the Wii U version was completed, Ubisoft delayed it for a simultaneous launch, which pushed the game's release back several months. The delay caused fan outcry and protests, but brought the game onto the PS3 and Xbox 360, with the team using the time to work on more content. It was eventually re-released on the PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, where it became the best-selling Rayman title in the franchise since the original game. It was also well received as one of the best modern platformers of all time, thanks to its unique 2D graphics, great gameplay, and loads of well-crafted levels.
Let me get changed, then we can go.
Perfect. What's up, dude? Got a girlfriend yet? Judging from this kitty game, doubt it.
When it comes to mascot platformers, there are a few video game characters who have become synonymous with their developer, starring in their games and representing the company as a whole. For example, there's no argument that Mario is the most recognizable character under Nintendo and Sega has Sonic, but there's one mascot who's been underappreciated for over 20 years. While today most people associate Ubisoft with games like Assassin's Creed or Tom Clancy titles, Rayman has often been regarded as Ubisoft's mascot since his first outing. The limbless hero hovered his way onto consoles with his signature helicopter hair in 1995.
Très rapidement, j'ai eu envie d'animer ces personnages et j'ai créé un logiciel qui me permettait d'animer des morceaux de personnages en fait, qu'on déplaçait, etc. Et donc j'ai créé un personnage qui allait avec l'idée de ce logiciel, c'est-à-dire basé sur uniquement des éléments séparés. Donc c'est comme ça que Rayman est arrivé.
Created by character designer and creative director Michel Ancel, the franchise has seen over 40 games released with 5 main entries featuring Rayman and multiple spin-off games. After his third game in 2003, Rayman was on a hiatus for 8 years until the release of the reboot in 2011. The franchise remained active thanks to the popular party title Rayman Raving Rabbids. The spin-off series took over as Rayman took a back seat and the games moved away from platformers to minigame collections. It wasn't until the release of Rayman Origins that the franchise rightfully returned to its 2D roots. According to Ansel, there were plans to bring Rayman back to 2D, but they lacked the technology to add depth to their vision, so they created it. Ubisoft and Ansel developed the UbiArt framework engine that allows artists to create and import assets directly into the game and have them interact with an environment. After completing the engine, the development of Rayman Origins began with only 6 people attached to the project before expanding to about 100. The game originally started as an episodic title, but grew into a full retail release. Although it was well received, its sales were below expectations, but did well enough over time to make way for the follow-up. Most of the team even stuck around for one more adventure starring Rayman in a sequel nearly twice as big as Origins.
Were you surprised to be named Best Video Game of the Year?
No.
Does it bother you that critics call this game addictive?
No.
Will you tell us what that O stands for?
Nope.
Are you ready to explode on PC CD-ROM?
Yeah!
Now looking at the game, Rayman Legends takes players through 5 fantasy worlds as they run, jump, and attack their way through a variety of levels. Each world introduces a different theme, enemies, and mechanics. For example, there's gliding through air drafts in the beanstalks of the Toad Story world, avoiding sentries in the underwater stealth missions of 20,000 Lums Under the Sea, and eating your way through obstacles in the Fiesta de los Muertos. Most of the worlds contain about 10 main levels, each one culminating in a boss battle, from fighting a medieval dragon in a burning castle to a lucha libre face-off against a giant wrestler set to a mariachi soundtrack. Then there's the standout levels for each world, the music-based levels, along with the 8-bit remix versions. These levels feature licensed songs, such as Black Betty by Ram Jam and Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, synced to the pace of each level, where timing is key in order to keep up and stay in tune. Rayman Legends can be played solo or cooperatively, but the game can get chaotic when there's more than 3 characters in the mix. However, playing with 2 people still allows for a fine balance between the solo and co-op experience, allowing players to revive each other before restarting at a checkpoint. Whether it's simply finishing a stage or collecting all the hidden elements, players of all skill levels can play together. By the way, the game plays smoothly on PS4 and Xbox One, with minimal load times in between the main hub, choosing a world, and jumping into a level. In contrast, the Nintendo Switch version has load times before and after a level, but includes exclusive content if you don't mind the extended load times. Rayman Legends also has a lot of bonus content to unlock, including plenty of characters, time trial challenges for speedrun enthusiasts, and 40 remastered levels from Rayman Origins. Everything from levels, challenges, and characters are neatly presented in the main hub as gallery paintings. Speaking of presentation, Rayman Legends continues to use the UbiArt framework engine with its distinctive 2D hand-drawn visuals. The engine was improved in between games with dynamic lighting, scene and stealth levels, and the use of 3D elements in boss battles. These new changes gave Legends a richer look that sets it apart from the colorful cartoon style of Origins, but both games look great in their own right. It is unfortunate that there was an interest to release the engine to other developers, but it never did.
So what about you? How you living?
It's now been over 10 years since Rayman returned in Origins and over 8 since the release of Legends. Rayman fans have been eagerly awaiting the next entry in the series, but Ubisoft has taken a different direction with their games. Although both Rayman Origins and Legends have been regarded as some of the best platformers, it's not the multi-million selling franchise like Ubisoft's other games. It's not that Rayman can't sell millions, as both of these games proved otherwise, but because Ubisoft's audience is used to their other games. Nintendo's platformers, on the other hand, namely Mario titles, continue to be one of their best sellers, so it's not the platformer genre's lack of popularity either. Ubisoft's audience today expects another Assassin's Creed or Far Cry, while Nintendo fans await the next Mario or Zelda. Interestingly enough, we have seen a Ubisoft and Nintendo crossover with Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. While the game didn't feature Rayman, the title character of the Rayman spin-off, the Raving Rabbids, starred alongside Mario in a tactical RPG set in the Mushroom Kingdom. Given the partnership between Ubisoft and Nintendo, it'd be fitting to see Nintendo handle a Rayman entry. Besides the spin-offs, Rayman himself hasn't had a new adventure outside of mobile games. Ubisoft is now focused on their current popular games, and have released other family-friendly franchises. There's also the issue of Rayman's creator, Ansel, leaving the game industry after 30 years amid allegations of toxic leadership, but I'd rather focus on the creation and not the creator. That's not to say we've seen the last of Rayman though, as he's made his way into other games with cameo appearances in the Mario Smash Bros. Series and as a playable character in the indie fighter Brawlhalla. Unlike Ubisoft's yearly franchises, Rayman is a game that releases every once in a while to remind fans why games are fun. For now, it seems like the limbless hero is taking a well-deserved rest before a triumphant return for another run.
Allô, hein? Ah, Ubisoft! J'arrive!